But how about we go ahead and begin with a short recap of what happened last time. Upon entering the Fields of the Dead, it was a very it was for the most part a very quiet journey, as it was a place that where the sun beat down on badlands with a mixture of vegetation, and strangely enough it was very humid, a very strange place. There were different sights of different creatures such as hobgoblins and dire wolves. One would eat a poor jackrabbit. But moving through, you dealt with a few things, including the man Verther trying to buy back his horse to no avail, along with you, Ray, having to heal the other horse back to health after it seemed to have not been getting as much water as it should have. Moving through, you do find a man named Sir Cedric as he was moving through the Fields of the Dead and under attack by hobgoblins, but he was swiftly dealt with by your finest warriors, along with a few Perryton attacks that were also swiftly dealt with, along with a blow to Ekrony and dealing with screaming mushrooms. You finally made out of the Field of the Dead and finally reached the edge known as Trollclaw Hills. Were the fight? Yeah. To compare to everyone else in this group, yes.
Oh dear.
Aside from maybe Soulstag, you're one of the best.
Oh, well, thank you.
But of course.
Because everyone else is just commoners.
Yeah, sure.
However, this is where we begin. You have all finally exited the Field of the Dead. And the Trollclaw Hills are definitely a very, despite the name where you would associate it with a horrible looking and malformed looking creature, it's actually quite a beautiful place. Sometimes you'll see like ruins of old towers going by, although they're well abandoned and they are completely crumbled. However, the nice rolling green hills do fill it nicely as you go along the edges of the stream here, known as the Winding Waters. At this point, you all do finally sit and try to make camp, as you see everyone going about to their own little wagons and such. I'm going to bring you over to the map, my friends, as you see nighttime is all slowly creeping on. And, give me a second. And you are allowed to go about it as you wish, and you are allowed to move on to the next section at your leisure. But welcome to your camp at the moment. You guys start at the bottom. You just see everyone has kind of taken their different sections at the sides of the roads. If you need me to describe what anyone is currently doing, you can just ask.
What's the cultist doing?
The cultists, they seem to be mainly sticking to their own wagons as usual. They aren't looking at anyone with particular interest. Sometimes you see one look over to you, but not out of suspicion, more of just keeping an eye on everyone, as they're trying. You can tell they're trying to maintain some semblance of secrecy, but they are not making much contact at all with anyone else.
Okay.
They seem to be just tending to their own separate carts. Might as well get yourself settled down, boys and lads. Gonna be here for quite the night, but we'll be up right early in the morning. You see him kind of pull off his own kind of bedroll and tent. I can be leaving here by 5 in the morning.
Whew.
Gotta get back on schedule. Those few stops we had in the fields weren't ones to laugh at. If you want to make it by the pass of 2 months.
You think we're gonna encounter anything else, like we did in the Fields of the Dead?
That's always possible. That's no need to be afraid. You got a big, strong man right here as he kind of pats his own muscles, which, effortlessly enough, you do see that he does have kind of a bit of muscles, not to the same degree as maybe, definitely not like Nezzy or Ray, but
And then it just
still
looks at
there.
the muscles and his. He's just like,
Actually, not to ruin your confidence there, but I do believe you broke down after being scratched.
And that was a surprise attack. It's a cheap shot. That's what it is.
Very well.
And I don't resort to cheap shots. I go straight, right to the face.
Uh-huh.
Oh God.
You dare insult my honor. Unless you want me to headbutt you like I did poor Robin back there.
I mean, can you reach?
Bit of sparring. Do you want to? Actually, I wouldn't mind testing out your headbutt. Let's do it.
I can't remember.
Are you serious?
Sure.
Alright.
Just gonna
Just
regret it.
take off the helmet.
Okay.
So you take off the helmet.
Yep.
You lift up the helmet, and
Uh,
you look over to him, and you see that he kind of looks at you with a great sense of confusion. He's like, you mind taking off your other helmet?
Nope. This is all me.
He's like looking
And,
you up and
like,
down
I
right
like
now.
I knock against my head.
He's like looking you up and down right now, like very confused. Like, I have to say, I've not quite seen something like you. What are you?
Body's all machine, mind's all person. Bit of magic weaved in there somewhere.
You see him look to you like he's about to say something. Then he looks away. Then he's about to say something again. Then he looks away.
He's in deep thought.
The headbutt will come later. And he kind of just walks away, and kind of like very confused about what he has seen.
I think my job here is done.
mm-hmm.
Puts the helmet back on.
Belray and Nezzy.
Mm-hmm.
You do see one of these guys from the cart kind of look over in this direction. And he doesn't.
Knew it.
He just like kind of gives it a passing glance at first, but then he kind of gives it another longer glance.
Move in like in front of him and just kind of like.
Fucking.
Just kind of moving the way
Fucking
with
do
my
it.
cloak out.
Stretching.
Stretching.
I kinda use minor illusion to make like a popping back sound.
All of you kind of hear this excessively loud, all in like sections.
Hey,
But
why did you use minor illusion to do that when you could just use minor illusion to illusion me?
I mean, you're holding a helmet. This is more fun.
He does look to you for a good second, but when you do see a little bit of curiosity in his eyes, he does eventually turn away. Whether he did see anything, you're not sure. But you guys can do as you wish from here. You do see Eleanor is already kind of starting up a fire, trying to get a little bit more of her cooking on. Bade looks like he's tending to his wagon of wines, along with Redisir, who looks to be perched on top of another rock, fiddling with another one of his puzzles.
Nice.
Wait, who's doing a puzzle?
Right, Siri.
This man up here.
He's
Ah,
the,
the
he's
rock
the
over
one
there.
who won the horse dress.
Ah, the gambler.
Yeah, he's very good at puzzles and gambling. He's basically playing with a Rubik's Cube right now.
You guys do also tend to hear something else. You can constantly hear the squawking of parrots from over here, but only
Parrots
subtly.
again.
Nezzy, there is a sound on your ears that you do particularly recognize,
Oh,
and it is the sound of like a swishing blade.
oh, what do I see?
You don't see it, but you do hear it is coming from this general direction.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go be nosy.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah, I do too. I think I do.
was gonna say
But
that.
Nezzy doesn't. Nezzy doesn't know. She's like, oh, time to be nosy.
In the light of the fire, but also kind of cast in the shadow of the caged wagon, you do see indeed Orvostia who looks like she's not really donned in her armor right now, and more just a tunic and simple cloth pants. So she does indeed look like she would be a peasant if she weren't a guard. And she is just taking her long sword, and she just looks to be like she's doing a simple training with what looks to be an old dead tree, like a very small one, and just using it in place. And you can see that her moves are very basic. Like you definitely need to see that, like, yes, she has studied a little bit, but they are not refined or advanced in any way.
I feel like Nesley's just gonna sit there crisscross applesauce and watch her for a little bit.
All right. What about everyone else as she continues to watch her?
What did Belle just do? Belle, why did you just run into the car?
She doesn't kill anybody.
Belle, as you go into the cart, I guess from the front area, because you can see the back is kind of covered up by a sleeping Aldor covered in his blanket.
Yep.
You do see this very small, shadowy figure kind of creeping out and slowly crawling its way over to Aldor.
Sierra. What are you doing, miss?
She's just looking right up to you, looking you dead in the eyes.
You're not planning to harm him, are you?
She kind of looks
Nibbles
right
his
back. Looks back to him for a second, and she continues to look there, but you can tell that she does kind of look a bit hungry.
I'll take out some rations. Alright. And I'm gonna feed her some rations.
You hear Aldor kind of stirring.
I kind of motion towards her nook real quick. Like,
What is that noise?
and then I'm moving, like, blocking basically in between her and Aldor.
You do kind of nudge her into her little cubby, and you kind of stand between them as he kind of just looks back to you. What are you doing?
I'm feeding.
Nothing.
Feeding my lovely Cicera.
Do a little more quieter, would you? Making a racket as he kind of turns back over.
Will do.
You see him just pull the blanket more over his shoulders as he kind of huddles up.
Kind of look back, make sure he's actually asleep.
You can tell he's trying to get to sleep.
Well, I give her some tea. I motion towards, like, my mouth doing, like, the one finger. It's very safe.
If she adheres to it, she does not give you a response, but she continues munching down on the treats you've given her.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna sit there and watch.
All right. Ray, what about you?
You know, I don't know.
Neither do I.
You guys don't have to do anything if you wish, and we can continue on once you guys are all done.
I think I'll wait another day to do something.
Okay. And you, Saint?
Yeah, I think I do the same.
Okay. So you just basically tend to the camp, just making sure that everything's taken care of, all the tents are set up, and just making sure nothing is lost after your trip through the Field of the Dead. Nezzy, you continue to kind of watch Ovistia as she's continuing with her practice, and you can tell she's been doing this for quite a while and is quite tired. Although you do see another figure kind of move into your vision. And this man, with his hands in his pockets, or more like his thumbs just in his pocket, kind of walks up to you.
Oh, hello.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm watching her. I'll be training her here soon. If she
She
ever goes
doesn't-
in battle, I'll be helping her. What?
She doesn't need help, and she doesn't need to be watched. So you can take you
I'm
under
pretty
lives.
sure. No. No. She needs the experience when we happen to get in a battle, so I'll help her.
And she'll get it. But if quite frank, I don't trust you.
You can go ask her.
That's
It's not
fine.
your choice. It's hers.
But she is very naive, miss.
And I don't
And-
plan on using her. I plan on helping her. I'm
You
not
can hardly
like
trust a
somebody
half-orc.
Oh, sir, that's. Do I go judging you, human, huh?
I suppose not, but that's you. And I've known plenty of half-orcs in my day, and their savage sides more often come out than not.
That's not a good way of looking at half orc, sir.
You can take it or leave it, but I still don't trust you.
That's fine. You don't have to trust me. But when I happen to save your life one day, yeah.
He doesn't respond to that, but you can still see he's standing strongly by what he
Mhm.
said, and he continues to kind of move back to his own wagon.
Does he look like a fighter or no?
He does have a short sword at his side, although he's not wearing like much in the way of armor, just like these not
Mhm.
posh red clothes, but definitely kind of fine. He's definitely doesn't look like a rich man, but definitely seems like
Mhm.
he
What
would
does he?
definitely try and fight.
Oh, so he's not the best though.
You can
He's
tell
like
he's
a
not a
mediocre.
guard, but
Okay,
it's
okay.
more like the will is there, or and the will and the purpose is there rather than the skill.
Hmm. Well, I'm just gonna still sit there. I don't care what he says.
He does continue to kind of like look back at you throughout the night, just checking on if you're any ulterior motives. After another
Just a
few
dumb
minutes,
half work.
after a few more minutes, you do see Avestia kind of, with a huge breath, just kind of finally puts her sword back in her sheath. She looks back and she does see you, Nezzy, and she does get upon this little smile and a little wave right in your direction.
I'll wave to her back.
She does have this really adorable little smile, and she does move on to collect the rest of her gear and move back to the cart.
Nezzy's gonna like pull out like a little paper and like write down her like what she needs work on. She's gonna be like,
All right.
okay.
You did see that her back step could use some work.
Okay, her back
How
step.
long-
Okay.
She also seems to leave herself open more often than not with her wide swings. You saw like every time she swung at that tree, she was not protecting herself at all. She was just like woof, one long swing, and if she ended up missing, well, then you can imagine how that would be in a real fight.
Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. Okay.
All right. But I assume that's all you guys are wishing to do for tonight.
I think so.
See, senor.
Very well. Eventually, you all do finally wake back up. And it is indeed a very steady morning. As you can see, there's like the morning dew completely covering the grass and most of the carts. Although the horses actually seem to really love the cool air and the cool feeling as you kind of see them shake off all the little water particles. But eventually, you guys find yourself back on the road. Is there anything you guys would wish to do in this time?
Keep an eye out for what was
Yeah.
it called? Well, for danger and for that one deer thing that the guy said about
Oh, the golden stag.
the golden stag. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone who's just wishing to keep an eye out, go ahead and give me perception checks.
Okay, where's my thing?
Yeah.
Oh, what a lovely bird! Wow.
Butterfly.
That nice bird.
Butterfly.
It is a very nice bird. Give me one sec. Where is that? There it is.
Damn, pretty bad rolls.
Yeah.
It happens
I gotta
sometimes.
get the that one out the way.
You get dust in your eye or something.
Nezzy, you're more focusing on the notes and the ways you can try and help Orvostia more than anything. As for everyone else, Saint, you're just now you're looking in kind of the direction where the sun is
Butterfly.
just coming up. Yeah, okay, yeah, you just spot this nice, beautiful
Pigeon.
butterfly.
Pigeon.
As
It
the
has to be
butterfly
a
is snatched
pigeon.
up by a pigeon.
Way of the world.
Um,
Circle of life.
Ray, you don't see too much in the way of absolute danger. You do see some of the local wildlife, though, as you're going past a nice little meadow, as you see many of the autumn leaves are starting to fall in this nice breeze. You do see that there is a small family of foxes in a small meadow,
Oh.
as they look to be playing, as a couple of the smaller ones are kind of jumping on top of each other and biting at their necks.
Oh, they're adorable.
As you hear their little barks coming from there.
So, how far from the wagon are they?
You would guess at least 100 to 150 feet. Like, they aren't bothered by the carts, mainly to their distance.
Okay.
Anything you wish to try and do?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna hop out of the cart and
Whoa.
cautiously walk up to them.
Hey, you do hear Eleanor kind of calling out, you see something there?
Just a few foxes, it's fine.
Well, don't take too long. We're kind of holding up the line, as you see a few people kind of in the line. They're kind of like having to force their way around on the road.
I mean, you can keep going. I'll catch up. It's fine.
If you say so.
When the character is faster than the horse.
It's a steady pace, so.
I'll catch up. It's fine.
Um, so what do you do, Ray?
I'm going to cautiously walk up to them and use the speech of beast and leaf, and talk to them. Be like, "Hello."
You do see kind of what you can assume to be the male kind of popping its head up and kind of looking directly at you, and its ears do perk up as you speak to it. So when it sounds like it does understand you, you don't know what it says, Belle. It does look to you with a hint of caution, but it also confusion as it seems to recognize your words.
I'm gonna sit down on the ground, a comfortable distance away from them, and continue to talk to them.
What do you say?
I'm gonna ask them. So, my friends and I have heard rumors about a special golden stag. Have you heard anything about that?
You see, like, the father is, like, shooing the little pups away, not too far, but cautiously walking towards you. Can you go and give me, since you're able to speak with them, advantage animal handling?
Yes, advantage. Ah!
Oh my gosh. You've dealt with beasts before, and you've dealt with foxes in the wild. So he does, like, cautiously walk up to you at first, but then you see his pace kind of quicken as he walks up a little bit more, walks up a little bit more, and finally, okay, Nezzy, and finally, it's right up on your lap as you see him kind of put his paws up on one of your legs, and he's just kind of sniffing you.
Oh, you're adorable.
As you see a little wagging his tail.
Oh no. So, have you heard anything about that golden stag I mentioned?
As you see him kind of just looking over to the side a little bit and kind of looking further down the trail that you guys are following. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. What you were using here, they can't speak with you. But
No,
you can
they
speak
can't. Yes.
And you see him just kind of looking around in that general direction off this way. Although whether he's talking about the golden stag or not, you're not sure. because there's only so much that he can communicate to you.
So I'm gonna make this a little easier. If yes, the golden stag is that way, yip once. If not, stay quiet.
And it yelps once.
All right. Cool.
So indeed, it does sound like there is something of that description from Sir Cedric.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll continue to keep an eye out for that, and I'm gonna hand it a ration, scratch it behind the ear, and say
Oh,
goodbye.
it does take the ration, and it kind of turns its head to the side as you do so, and you can kind of hear still the little whines and whimpers as it does so. And eventually, it kind of moves away and heads back to its little den.
Amazing. Okay.
What do you do? As you see, you are well behind the caravan, but you can still easily see the last one going.
Yeah, I'm gonna run and catch up to our cart.
You guys do all see just booking it down the road with a nice brisk pace. Ray kind of just jumps right into the back of the car.
So, good news, guys.
Yeah.
That golden stag that we were told about, the fox says it should be the direction we're heading.
Mm.
Ooh.
Ah, good.
Okay.
Did you get any specifics?
No, it might have been a little too far for him to specifically say where, but he said this direction, so I guess we'll keep
Okay.
an eye out for it.
Only Nails is there because she could speak to animals.
Eventually, you guys do stop once again just to make camp. This is not really too important at the moment, but is there anything anyone wishes to do as the night is coming across?
For a stag.
Okay.
What's that?
I said look for a stag.
Every once in a while you will see descriptions, visuals of just like various smaller elk and stag, but nothing that looks like it has a golden shimmering coat like it was described.
Okay.
And they all seem to be kind of staying away from you, understandably.
Yeah.
Should we check on what's his face for
What's his
that
face?
whole insanity thing?
Arthur.
Oh, right.
Arthur, that's his name.
That's
Sorry, he's very
that's
forgettable.
your
You're
problem.
What's his cart
yeah,
doing
yeah.
right now? Is it like just parked somewhere or?
You do see it's kind of parked over a little way. It's still with the caravan, but still just a little ways away towards the edge. And it looks like the tiefling mage known as Jagar is mainly tending to his own little spell book, it looks like. Whereas the dwarf guard looks like she is standing attention at the back door to the wagon.
Okay. He's probably still crazy.
You do not see Verther anywhere.
Yeah, I can imagine what is happening. I'm just gonna check on Cicero, make sure she doesn't eat outdoor, and yeah.
As you guys are just preparing your little camp, as you can see that Eleanor is fixing a very fine venison stew, as Nezzy, you specifically can smell the
Nezzy's mouth
succulent
starts to
meats coming
water.
from it. Now just hold your appetite there, dear. It's almost done.
I'll try to wait.
She does look up to you, Saint, and she's like, "Forgive me for asking, but I did happen to see you without your wee helmet on there when you were showing off to
Oh.
Acony.
Of course.
How does one like you eat? I have to know. It's intriguing."
Doesn't really do much for me. It's more of a what's the word I'm thinking of here?
Comfort.
Force of habit.
Oh.
Force of habit, and it kind of helps with keeping my brain from dying.
Your brain.
So the body, like I said before, the body is mechanical, but the brain is all human. Kind of it's kind of like a rejection thing.
I have to say, I've never seen or heard of a creature such as yourself. Oh, there's all sorts of people I can meet on this. We have to do this more
I don't-
often.
I don't know how many of us there are around, to be honest.
Oh, so you don't know any more?
It's been 100 years or so since I last saw one of me.
Oh. She kind of recoils a little bit at that as she hears it. She's like, I'm sorry.
I'm sure there's some. I just haven't come across them yet.
Ah, that's there. Got to be optimistic, of course.
Exactly.
But whether you need it or not, she kind of just takes a nice dip of this seething stew with very large chunks of venison in it, and very succulent and perfectly cut. And she, despite the fact that you may not need it, here you go.
Lovely, lovely.
At the very least, you can probably enjoy my cooking.
That's true.
And of course,
leans into Ray or someone. I can't taste a thing.
I kind of thought you were gonna say that.
Yeah. Like that.
of course, you see her go into her bag. Oh, and of course, can't forget this. And she pulls out two a bit larger bowls. And she takes her ladle in and she kind of scoops the same stuff into that. She's like, one for you, sir. And she kind of puts it to Acrony. Ah, perfect. And he immediately kind of takes it and starts like downing it, like drinking it.
Knew it.
And of course, one for the pretty lady. And she hands this big bowl to Nezzy.
Oh, I just start chowing down, and like in the middle of eating, I'm trying to say like thank you, but my mouth is full.
I give
Not very ladylike.
I give my bowl to Cecilia.
All right, yeah, she does have it to you, and she does. Cecilia does smell it, and the second you put the bowl down in her little hovel, you already hear kind of sloshing of liquid, and just like, and just like the voracious attitude of this dragon coming out as she's devouring this whatever's in this bowl. Although you see her kind of spit one little thing out as you see a little bit of what looks to be celery.
Yeah, of course. She spits out the celery. She is a dragon.
And a few other like the vegetation bits.
Well,
And of
that's what she
course,
wants.
and of course, one for you. And she hands the last one to Ray.
Thank you.
It is a fairly peaceful night as you guys are just the only noises right now are the little tints of wooden spoons against wooden bowls and the sloshing and slurping coming from Acrony and Nezzy. You all do see someone actually approaching your fire, though, from one of the other wagons.
I'm still chowing down.
Oh, yeah. Nezzy, in fact, you
Okay.
feel them sit next to you.
I look up from my bowl and look to see who it is. Oh, who's that? I don't remember who that is.
That's the
That's
creepy
the
guy.
who said he doesn't trust you.
Oh,
The
him!
racist. The
The
racist.
racist, yeah.
Does anyone have a cup?
Or is he just goes
Does
back
anyone
to
have a
eating?
cup?
Not for me.
For who?
You kind of see him pull out a nice big wine bottle, a brand you quite recognize from Bade.
Mm-hmm.
His specialty and the kind that was perfectly sweet and succulent. But he kind of pops the cork. He's like, "For the last year," and he gestures to Nezzy.
I look at it. I'm like, and yes.
He's giving you the
Eleanor does kind of look at it for a second. He's like, "Oh, yeah, there's one extra one here. Thank you." And he starts pouring a couple drinks, and he takes one and he hands one over to Nezzy first. He's like, "Here."
I take it with caution.
He's gonna
And
put
he
it-
starts quickly kind of downing his own. And you see him kind of pour a few for everyone else as well.
Well, it's not poison.
Can I do an insight check on him?
Yes, you can.
I want to sniff my cup.
Yeah, I'm gonna sniff
Alright.
the cup too.
What is my
Um,
insight?
Insight.
You guys can do if you're wishing to do yeah, you did insight on him. If you're wishing to inspect your cup, you can do either investigation or perception.
I don't care. I'm
I
gonna drink
don't
it.
plan to drink it,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Perception on the cup. Oh heck yeah.
Nezzy, it
Oh.
smells like fresh wine, untainted, perfect.
I guess I down it then.
It is just as sweet as it's always been. It's like, anyone can hold an argument as long as you did with deserves a drink.
Oh.
And you see him take another big swig of his own glass. And, sorry if I came off as a bit crude there.
It's fine. I understand. Not a lot of people like half orcs like me.
It's nothing against half-orcs specifically. It's just that many that I've known have committed. He kind of goes silent for a second, and he kind of like runs a finger along his scar. Some of the more heinous acts I've seen.
I understand.
And you're gonna assume if I don't want anything come bad to that poor girl there.
Oh, I don't want to see her get hurt. She's very kind, and I would hate to see that. So I was just watching her, seeing where she needed some training, and I've got some notes. She needs to work on her backstep, and she keeps herself open too much.
Can I see those notes?
Oh yeah, but they look like chicken scratch. So
He
You
kind of
know.
takes it. If you hand it to me, he does kind of take a nice look at it, and you do see him. Oh, internet dropped. Okay. He takes a nice chuckle. He's like, honestly, could do just about as better as I could.
oh
I know what do I know? I work with parrots. He kind of hands it back to you.
parrots burps.
Indeed,
Burps. Oh.
some of the finest I've raised. But if you can promise me that no harm will come to Avestia, then I may allow you to train her.
Do you mean like harm in like battle wise? Cause she might get hurt. Cause that's battle for you.
If
We all
it's-
get hurt.
If it's of your doing,
Oh no.
and I'll be watching you, sure.
Nezzy punches a little too hard.
What's that?
Just saying, I'm just waiting for her to punch a little too hard.
Just be gentle with her. She's not one you would usually see as a member of guard.
Oh,
And he takes another big swig.
he's so gonna get drunk.
He does like he's looking to try and get a little bit wasted tonight, as you haven't really seen him invested in many of the parties that took on like the first couple nights. But I don't know who you are, but as long as you're gonna promise me that, I won't stop you.
Well, I promise. And the name's Nezzy. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oin Heavenmore. Raining all the way. Sorry. Raining all the way from
Oh. I'm gonna pretend I know how far that is. I don't know.
You would know that it's further south than Beargost. Like,
Oh.
it's actually like on the other side of the mountains.
oh, I can.
I feel like Nezzy
he's
still
all
wouldn't
south.
know.
All you know is that you don't know its like location, but you know it's a long way from home. Where he is right now.
Oh. It's a long way, I think.
Indeed. Where are you from?
Baragos.
Southern like myself, then. Well,
Don't think it's
Yeah.
south as you, but yeah.
definitely not. But here's to good friendship and hope to last. As he kind of holds up his cup.
Here.
Yep.
No, I don't want you. And I also don't tell the girl I've been drinking. She doesn't need to know that.
Oh, it's a secret.
And he takes one more swig.
Nezzy's ready to get drunk tonight.
Belle,
Mhm.
as you were kind of tending to Cicera and just kind of on the outside of the cart, you feel a little something touch your arm, like a little prick, but it didn't hurt.
I look.
Like it was someone. It was like someone suddenly tapped you with a finger.
I look around.
You don't see anyone. Then you feel it again on your shoulder.
Hello?
Then again on your arm,
I.
and then on top of your head.
I'm looking everywhere.
As you slowly start to realize the small little raindrops that are starting to fall.
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh god.
As all of you can already start to feel a bit of the heavy raindrops starting to fall on you.
Oh. Get in the cart. Nope.
Had to
Ruin a good
ruin a
night.
good. Yeah, well, no, what a... God don't smile on us today.
Oh, a free bath! Yay!
Free pair.
I mean, I guess I can't argue with that. You see here, Acrony kind of solemnly saying, I at least got the utensils and all the cookie pots in. I still have stuff to save. As she kind of like is quickly putting the covers over her pots.
Poor person.
I'm just skipping around in the rain.
It
God.
is just a very, very cool feeling, Nezzy, as it is very nice to feel it. It's not like a warm
Mhm.
rain like you felt in the fields, but a nice, cool, relaxing rain that is fresh to the skin.
Oh, oh.
I'll say that is the end of the night there, unless anyone else has something to do.
Don't think so.
Ooh, okay. I just texted Haley, so all three of her internet connections are down.
Oh no.
All three? Dear Lord! Oh my god.
Hope, I don't know.
Should we wait on her?
If you guys want, we can take at least like a 10-minute break at least. So,
Yeah, if you want.
do what you want, get some snacks, do whatever you wish, and we'll start back up in a second.